We were told the delay was about regulation, table. For years, the excuse for the lack of institutional volume on the XRP ledger was a lack of walls, table. Banks wanted the speed of a public ledger, but the privacy of a vault, table. As of February 4th, 2026, that mirror has been shattered, table. While the retail market is distracted by the latest Bitcoin ETF outflows, which just hit $272 million in a single day, a silent rotation is happening, table. The activation of XLS80 permission domains isn't just an update. It is the death of the private ledger era, table. From the heart of Switzerland's crypto valley to the halls of Washington under the Genius Act, the infrastructure is no longer coming. It is here. I am the calm analyst, and today we decode why Ripple's expansion into Switzerland and the activation of institutional privacy are the two final pieces of a puzzle that is about to change everything for XRP holders. Let's start by looking at the map of global finance. For decades, Switzerland has been known as the vault of the world. But in the digital age, it has evolved into something far more critical, Crypto Valley. The recent announcement that CV Labs has officially welcomed Ripple as an ecosystem partner is not just a PR move, it is a strategic integration. CV Labs is described as the heartbeat of this valley. It is the nexus where founders, massive corporations, and, most importantly, regulators sit at the same table to turn innovation into real-world impact. By bringing Ripple into this fold, CV Labs isn't just adding a crypto company. They are bringing in the adult in the room. They are integrating a regulated, institutionally trusted blockchain infrastructure directly into the European financial nervous system. But this partnership didn't happen in a vacuum. It coincides with a massive strengthening of Ripple's European footprint. Let's look at the hard data regarding compliance. Ripple has secured its EMI license, Electronic Money Institution, in Luxembourg. This is the gateway to the entire European Union banking sector. They have achieved full crypto asset registration with the UK's Financial Conduct Authority, FCA. In total, Ripple now holds more than 75 regulatory licenses globally. Think about that number for a second. While other projects are still hiring lawyers to figure out if they are a security or a commodity, Ripple has already built a 75-license fortress around its operations. This level of preparation forces even the skeptics to respect the strategy. As former CFTC Chairman Chris Giancarlo, Crypto Dad himself, recently admitted, we all have to tip our hat to XRP. Ripple was the poster child for the Gensler-Warren attack on crypto. They took the heat. They stood their ground when others ran. And now, in 2026, they are just standing. They are the most perseverant and compliant player on the board. This network of licenses means one thing for us: more rails. And more rails mean more utility for XRP to run on. Now, we need to talk about the competition. For a long time, the narrative has been that the Canton network is the XRP killer. Why? Because Canton offers privacy by design. Institutions like JP Morgan don't want their trade secrets or client data visible on a public ledger. That is a fact. And that is why they built private chains like Kexis. But Ripple didn't ignore this. They solved it. With the activation of the Permission Domains Amendment on the XRP ledger mainnet, Ripple has officially bridged the gap. We now have controlled environments living directly within the broader XRP ledger ecosystem. Think about what this means. Canton offers privacy, but isolates liquidity. Old XRP ledger offered liquidity, but lacked privacy. The new XRP ledger, post-upgrade, offers both. This isn't just a software patch. It is built on top of the XLS 70 credential standard. This allows financial institutions to issue verifiable credentials, KYC AML, and create permissioned DEXs and permissioned lending protocols right on the public chain. They can now restrict access to their pools, ensuring they only trade with compliant entities, while still settling on the lightning-fast, neutral rails of XRP. So, is Canton the XRP killer? Ripple has effectively neutralized that threat by becoming the most well-rounded solution on the market. We are watching the first permissioned domain go live in real time. This is the final piece of the puzzle that allows tokenized assets, from real estate to bonds, to flow freely yet compliantly. Money goes where it is treated best. The choice is now simply the XRP ledger. Money goes where it is treated best. On February 3rd, we saw a signal that implies a massive shift in sentiment. US-listed Bitcoin ETFs saw 272 million in net outflows in a single day. Meanwhile, XRP investment products quietly attracted nearly 20 million in inflows. Why? Because the market is suffering from Bitcoin fatigue. The drama, the reliance on endless marketing, and the volatility are pushing smart money toward utility. Matt Hamilton said it best. Bitcoin developers literally created the XRP ledger 15 years ago to build a better Bitcoin. And this brings us to a fascinating piece of history involving David Schwartz and Vitalik Buterin. Years ago, Vitalik stayed on Ripple CTO's couch, pitching the idea of smart contracts on Layer 1. Ripple rejected it back then. Why? Because they knew it would destroy transaction speed and spike fees. Exactly what happened to Ethereum. David chose efficiency. Vitalik chose complexity. But today, with the EVM sidechain, XRP has captured the best of both worlds. It has the speed of the ledger and the programmability of Ethereum. This is why the odds on Polymarket for XRP flipping Ethereum's market cap in 2026 have risen to 50%. We often hear about a $10 XRP, which would turn 1,000 XRP into $10,000. That is a conservative start. But if we look at the scarcity models and the institutional inflows we just discussed, the minimum target shifts to $27. That's $27,000 for every 1K XRP. The bullish scenario pushes past $50. The super bullish scenario, where scarcity truly kicks in due to ETF buy pressure, could align us with $100. The AI models suggest we are on track for this scarcity in 2026. But this only happens if the utility rails are ready. And as we proved in Section 1 and 2, they are. Words matter in Washington. President Trump has made it clear: no central bank digital currency, CBDC, in America. He views it as communist money, a tool for government overreach and control. But does this mean the US is staying with paper and old bank wires? Absolutely not. Under this new legislative framework, the US is not building a Fed coin. Instead, it is empowering the private sector to develop US digital dollars in the form of stablecoins. But let's look at the reality from a technical perspective. Whether the Fed issues it, CBDC, or Ripple issues it, stablecoin like RLUSD, the underlying features remain the same. Programmability, money that only moves when certain conditions are met. Clawback features, the ability to recover funds in case of fraud. Global reach, settlement in seconds, not days. This is why the infrastructure Ripple has built for over a decade is so vital. The Fed may not issue a CBDC, but they are creating the regulations that allow stablecoins to act as the primary medium for global payments. And where will these trillions of digital dollars run? They need rails that are regulated, transparent, and institutionally trusted. The XRP ledger is the answer. We are moving away from the managed money of China's model and toward a private sector-driven digital powerhouse in the West. Stablecoins are the bridge that connects the old financial system to the new digital reality. And with the permission domains we discussed earlier, these digital dollars can now flow safely through the XRP ledger without ever touching non-compliant hands. The foundation is finished, the law is being written, and the future of money is being coded on the rails you are currently holding. We have reached a point where wait and see is no longer a valid strategy. While the masses are chasing the shadows of Bitcoin's volatility, you are looking at the substance. You are looking at a network that didn't just survive an attack from the most powerful regulators in the world, but emerged as the global standard for compliance. From the Crypto Valley in Switzerland to the Genius Act in Washington, the rails are being laid down. The privacy barriers have been broken with XLS 80, and the institutional floodgates are beginning to creak open. Is XRP going to flip Ethereum? The data says the odds are 50-50. Is scarcity coming in 2026? The AI models say we are right on track. But at the end of the day, this isn't about luck. It's about being on the right side of history. It's about recognizing that the better Bitcoin was built 15 years ago, and it's finally ready to take its throne. Don't let the noise of the day steal your vision for the decade. Stay patient, stay positive, and remember, we don't just hope for wealth, we plan for it. In a market driven by impulse and noise, clarity becomes an advantage. A simple reminder: speed creates mistakes, while calm evaluation creates strength. Thank you for the trust and for being part of a community that values logic over emotion. Patience is discipline. Rational thinking is protection. As always, the future isn't something to wait for. It's something to prepare for. Stay safe.